then final preparations. We possibly have 2 medal contenders here in the pool here in Bermuda. But what is the focal point on maximizing their strengths once they get to Scotland and being at the peak once they dive into those pools?
Well, they've started the process which is called tapering. So over the last couple of weeks they've gone from their hardest training for the season and they're slowly tapered down to less training, more specific work on how they're going to race. What they're doing today is actually preparing themselves for the long flight tonight. Then we'll do some recovery when we get there, and then they'll really get right on the routine each day, preparing as they get closer to the days for racing. Both of them are looking really good so far, so let's continue to work towards that.
Now, obviously, they're in their strongest events possible. I know when you have meets here, they're allowed to do other meets in anticipation of warming up. Do you see them going into some other events possibly to be able to do that, or will you use the warm-up pool as that?
Well, Roy's going to start the meet with the 50 butterfly, which is his opportunity to start off, get a race out of the way, get a race under his belt, which will be, that's how he's going to start. Julian will also be starting off with the 200 breaststroke, where his main focal point is going to be in the 100 breaststroke. So both of them will have an opportunity to get a race under their belt, find out competition, facility, all the little details they'll be able to work out in that first event. Julian will then move into his main event, and Roy actually will swim the 100 and then finish off with the 50. So I think the meet sets up really well for both of them to perform in their best events.
Now, the possibility of getting on that podium, as a coach, what would it mean to you to see one of your athletes climb that podium?
Well, you know, at all the levels that we've been able to take these guys to, and having them compete at a high level, win medals at the lower level competitions, to be able to get to an event that everybody acknowledges is a country representation, it would be a really special day if we could get to that point.
All right, well, good luck, and I'll see you in Scotland.
Thank you.
Roy, obviously, you want to be able to perform at your best at the Commonwealth Games. What have you been doing to ensure that you are in the right frame of mind and shape to compete at your best?
As far as the frame of mind, I've been trying to read more, just like train my brain. That was something that I was missing out on, definitely. Training my body so much, but not training my mind to prepare myself to be at my best in certain situations. So, that's been a big thing for me, just to pick up a book and delve into some psychology of sport. But as far as my body and training, I've always been pretty good at working hard, in the water and on land. So I just kept up my, desire to keep pushing in the water, get stronger on land, but mainly just focusing more on my technique. And I've spent a lot of time working on my start too, so that should be, like a big difference maker for me coming into this meet.
What have you learned about yourself? I know you said you wanted to mentally get stronger. What have you learned about yourself during this period of time?
I just think, when you're in a big race situation, just controlling your nervous system. So I had, a hard time settling my nervous system, when I knew that I was going up against guys who were, had done things better than I had at the time. So just being able to talk to myself, settle myself down was important. So that's, I learned some techniques in order to do that. Just some deeper breathing, some belly breathing. Focusing on my breathing was important. I didn't realize that could be such a game changer, just, simply breathing through a different part of your body. That was probably the main thing. And just focusing on my own energy and what I need to do in the situation, and not so much the result, but what has to happen in that moment. I get caught up in results a lot. So, just figuring out that I needed to focus on the situation was pretty important.
Now, you remember the first time you competed at the Olympics and what that moment was like coming out of the transition area before you got into the pool? You remember those nerves?
Yeah, I mean, I was in a heat where I thought I could win. I just wasn't very well trained at the time, so I ended up suffering quite a bit at the end of the race. But I definitely remember coming out and being in that huge crowd and that whole thing. It was pretty amazing. The end result was a little disappointing, but the preparation just wasn't there.
But you feel you've come complete circle?
Yeah, leaps and bounds. I mean, when I think back on it, I really didn't know anything about swimming at the time. From what I know now, understanding the water and how you have to move through it is night and day.
All right, well, good luck and see you in Scotland.
Thanks.
Ian, a lot of expectations for you for this upcoming games. You've improved leaps and bounds in the breaststroke. What have you been doing to ensure that come race day for your primary event, you are 100% prepared?
Well, in the long term, I've been working on my stroke technique. I think that's the most important thing going into it, especially for breaststroke. Trying to stay on top of the water and getting fast turnovers. Short term, I've kind of started to accustom myself to the time over there. I've been getting up early, going to sleep early. So I think it's important to get on a routine a week before the meet and make sure that you're doing everything properly. Get ready for the morning heats and the night finals as well. Just get your body ready so that when you go there, there's no surprises.
You think the meets you've competed in prior to this has helped you mentally and physically prepare for what you're going to face?
Yeah, definitely. The world-class meets that I've been to will definitely help me out because I've been there before. I know what to expect. And also the recent meet that we went to in Barbados, CIS, will help me out with my confidence. I swam really well there, so looking to improve from my times there and move on, do something better in Glasgow.
Now, do you plan to talk to Roy about crowd expectation, just that whole atmosphere? It's a little different,
Yeah.
A little more pressure, obviously.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I like the pressure. I think I swim better under pressure, actually. But yeah, Roy has got a lot of experience in that field, and I think that I can get some tips from him and hopefully swim my best.
If your best is good enough to put you on the podium, what would it mean for you?
Oh, it would mean a lot. I mean, I know going into it, I know that there's a lot of breaststrokers going into the Commonwealth Games that are very fast, Olympians, medalists at the Olympics. So winning a medal there would be amazing for Bermuda, for my efforts, and for everyone around me that's helped me out in the sport.
All right, well, good luck. See you in Scotland.
Thank you.